we're back in Kalk Bay now, and we are here with the artist of Kalk Bay, Donna McKellar, who also has the accolade of being my mother-in-law. We've got some
for
work
my sins.
for your sins, yes. We've got some artwork here that Donna has done for me and Taryn, so we'll look at that. But also really just to talk about her journey as an artist. How did it come about? How long have you been doing it? What are you currently working on? And what makes your artwork unique?
I started painting about 25 years ago. I did go to art school and I studied commercial art, and I ended up working in commercial art for about 10 years. But then I started painting from home after work, on the weekends, etc., etc. I can't think of what year it was, but probably when Taryn was matric or so, I was able to start selling some of my work from a gallery, and that took off really, really well. And it just has gone from there. So.
Okay, and from a passion perspective, what's your favorite thing to paint?
So drawing people and painting people was always my first love. I kind of fell into doing landscapes by accident, because it was how I started experimenting with landscapes, because I didn't have to have a model, etc., etc. And they just did so well that I couldn't stop in a way. It sort of became what I was known for, my big Karoo landscapes.
But also like the oil tankers and the
oil tankers I developed later, after a trip to Singapore, when I was confronted with thousands of ships on the ocean, really nice views, and they reminded me of little cities in the sea, you know, like this isolated. So it gave me a similar feeling to a house in the Karoo with a windmill. Like here you've got this isolated little homestead out in the Karoo, you can only see it from a distance, and it was the same with the ships. So kind of like was a symbol of the people that live out there on the ships, and of course the architectural aspect of it intrigued me, because I do love buildings and architecture, and so it's about the light and the way the light falls on the subject.
Your work is not just sold in South Africa, it's gone all over the world. Do you know which countries you've been in?
Well, I know that my work is placed in countries with people who've bought it, but they've not necessarily bought it overseas.
Sure.
So, America, all over America, the UK, London, France, the Dominican Republic, Singapore, Australia.
Excellent. And do you want to show us a couple of your work so we can have a look?
Sure. So I was busy painting a lot of these small landscapes for my exhibition, which was meant to open the day that lockdown happened, so I wasn't able to exhibit any of them. So this is the kind of typical Karoo close-up shop scene that I love to do. I think really cool. You can see with most of my work, it's the light that's always intriguing, and that's what draws me into a painting, is the light. It's a very dilapidated old building, and the locals called it the Shame of Geneva, because it's a beautiful building, really round on each side, a bit like a ship, and it was left to die, which was very sad.
As you know, we've got two pieces of yours that are en route to Johannesburg shortly, and the big thing for me when I look at art is I want to see something beautiful or see something colorful, preferably both. So I'd love for you to talk to me about these two pieces. I honestly think they're your two most beautiful works, and I love the fact that I'm owning them. So let's have a look.
So this painting I did for a competition called A Still Life Reimagined. So here we have the woman lying here wrapped in these lovely silken robes, and right behind her in the window are these luxurious cushions and items for the home, while she is homeless, sleeping outside.
Luxurious item for the home when someone else is homeless.
And so it's
sad and beautiful, and
exactly, it's a narrative on people today, and that collecting things and what's become important, and that human lives are becoming less and less important.
It's absolutely beautiful. I've shared this painting with other artists in Johannesburg. I've just shown them the picture, and they've all had a jaw drop moment.
Oh, really?
All of them.
Wow.
It's an absolutely beautiful piece, which then segues us into this beautiful. I mean, the color in this thing is just divine. Talk us through. Obviously, you can see this is Taryn, but everything about it is absolutely gorgeous. Talk to me about this.
Well, thanks, Lo. So the first thing that was really gorgeous was the photograph that you took of Taryn.
This was in Milan.
It was in Milan, yeah.
This is like on another level. And talk to me about this background. Is it a sort of an angelic thing going on?
The background was a little bit busy in the photograph, and I wanted to make it a bit of a surrealistic kind of thing, so a little bit out of reality. I don't want to paint regular portraits of people, and I want something different. So I want to find my voice in painting figurative things.
Finally, we've got, actually let me fetch it. I'm going to get out of screen and I want to fetch this. So talk to me about this one, because I recognize the actual painting behind it, but talk to me about this piece.
It's called The Untimely Death of Don, and it's a little bit about my dad. So the diary is dated 2006. He died in 2006. I felt his death was untimely, like it was too early.
Yeah, beautiful. I think these pieces are going to look amazing on our walls, and eventually when we go to the Isle of Man, they'll have a special place, no doubt. Well, look, thank you very much. I really appreciate you talking to me about this beautiful stuff that you do. The stuff that I do feels relatively poor in comparison.
Well, I think they all have their own place in this world.
Yeah,
so,
still.
like, you can do things that I can't do, and I can do these things that you perhaps.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I love every bit of everything that you do, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Larry.
Can I give you a hug?
Thank you. Sure. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Hugs in the time of COVID.
Indeed.